Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to week 8 of Building Crait. That marks 2 months now that we have been working on Crait, and this particular segment I think a lot of you will enjoy, particularly because we're going to get so much done. I don't know if you can kind of see behind me, but we're going to work a lot on the wall. We're going to work a lot on the groundwork in front of it. And then we're also going to do some things that I'm sure a lot of you wouldn't expect in this segment. We're actually going to quickly talk about cleaning Lego. I know that sounds really boring, but I really just wanted to show how I go about when I buy used Lego that's kind of a little dirty, that's been used by kids, just so much dust has accumulated over time or whatever. Some of you may buy Lego like that from a yard sale or eBay or something like that. And I just wanted to quickly show in this segment how I go about cleaning that. But that isn't the big part. The big part is definitely the wall. I think a lot of you will be very happy with it. I do also want to thank everybody who's been emailing me. I think I've gotten like 30, 40 emails over the last week of LDD models and different ideas for how you guys think I should go about Crait. I love reading your emails. I'm sorry if I don't reply to all of them. I get so many actually, but I am looking at all of them. I am reading all of them, and I'm always looking at the LDD files. One particular person submitted an LDD file where he was using plates instead of bricks for the wall, and it worked kind of, but there was still gaps and stuff. He said he's going to continue to work on the design. He assured me that using plates is the better method, but after this segment, I think a lot of you will agree that I think bricks is the right way to go, because stability is the biggest factor. Reinforcement of this giant wall is going to be tricky because it does have to have an inside layer. It does have to look a little interesting on the inside because we are doing an interior of the base in the Crait mountain. So that is a thing. So it makes it a tad bit more difficult in terms of designing it. You can't just purely use random colors and all kinds of different ways of reinforcement. You have to keep it kind of streamlined, and you guys will see what I end up doing. But this is an exciting segment, so I'm going to stop talking. It might be a little long, but let's see what we go and see. So let's go, guys. All right, guys, so starting this week off, big bricklink order. Actually, multiple bricklink orders came this week. And so first thing you'll see, I have more slopes here. That's awesome. So that means we can continue work on the wall where we left off last week. So that's great. You'll also notice we also got a bunch of these inverted white slopes that are used to make these triangular pieces, so we can continue to make different variations and more of these. Very excited about that. The other main piece that I bought in bulk was this, the 1x3x3, I guess, slope in light gray, light bluish gray, and this is key as to what this is like one of the key pieces to making the mountains around the base wall. It'll be a mix of this color and white and possibly dark gray, not sure, and of course red. Where am I? There, my red slopes right here. So that's exciting. And then I also have these. I guess they're called I don't know what they're exactly called. They're like half a brick, but not. The 3 studded bricks. These are important because that's how I kind of am going to build this wall together. So that's awesome. And then the really cool bricklink order that came this week is the plates that we're going to lay down, and you're going to see this by the end of the segment. But I actually want to show you interesting technique. Some of you may have seen it before from other YouTube channels. I've seen this online before, but I want to clean these plates because they were used. I bought them used, and I want to show you guys how I go about cleaning. Now, there's lots of different ways to clean Lego, use Lego. So I just want to show you an example. Let's say you went to a yard sale, or you went to maybe you just bought some used Lego bricks off eBay and you weren't sure exactly where they came from, but you know they were used and you want to clean them regardless. Most bricklink sellers that sell used parts usually clean the parts, so I'm not really too worried. But these particular plates I wanted to clean. They really didn't need to be cleaned, but I went ahead and did it anyways. So I'm going to show you that right now. Alright guys, so something a little different.
When I buy used Lego and I need to clean it, and I can see, you know, it's been used by kids and stuff like that, and it really needs a clean, this is how I do it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this similar method throughout YouTube or even on the internet, which is just simply by washing it in warm water and soap. So that's exactly what I've done here. I've used hand soap. I get by a big bottle of hand soap, and I put it in here while the hot water is running through the bathtub. Put it in here, and I basically let the Lego soak, and I kind of move it around every couple minutes, kind of like washing it basically. The more you move it, the better. If you have a scrub brush, you could scrub the Lego too. That's even better. But you can just let it soak here. I wouldn't let it soak for more than an hour. I think that's a little too much if you let it soak longer than that. But I mean, you can if you want. It's Lego, it's plastic. It's really dishwasher soap, I should say. Isn't really going to do much to Lego, nor is just regular soap. It's just going to clean it. I would stay away from anything like Clorox or bleach or anything like that. That might take the color away from Lego, so be careful with that. But for future reference, if you ever buy, you know, big bulk, you know, if you go to a yard sale or you just buy a big bulk of used Lego and you want to wash it, you want it to be a little more clean than how you received it, then this is how I would recommend doing it. And actually what you can see here with all of this, you can see that these are the big plates that I was talking about. So I'm washing them. They really didn't need to be washed, to be honest, but I just wanted to regardless because there was some dirt and stuff. So I went ahead and washed all of them. And you can see just how many, and you're gonna see in a little bit just how many I have here. This isn't even, there's more underneath all of these, but I have plenty of these big plates. They're gonna be so useful for Scarif. So I'm gonna wash these for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna go dry. I'd probably pay, because of all this soap and stuff, and the little pink Lego thing in there. But yeah, because of all the soap and stuff, I'm gonna let them dry for probably about 24 hours, if not longer. And then we'll use them later in this segment for Scarif. But I did want to wash them just because they were slightly dirty, but they really honestly didn't need to be washed. But yeah. All right, well, that's that. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, guys, so just really quickly, just want to show you this. All the plates here are now dry, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of them. This isn't even all of them. There's actually more right here on the floor. All of these plates are pretty much dry, and they're all squeaky clean. They look fantastic. They're all shiny. They all look basically new, which is fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. So it's very cool. You know, all these right here are dry. They look nice and clean, shiny. They look good. Some Lego pieces. Oh man, that looks like one of those gold pieces from Indiana Jones. But anyhow, all these are now clean, so I'm going to use these for Crait. There's quite a bit. This should be enough to cover all of Crait from here on out. I don't think I'll have to order any more of these. Big special thanks to Weston Toys. It's not a sponsor or anything, but they're the ones who were able to get me all these plates. So big special shout out to them. I'll link their, I believe they have a website down below. I'll link that down there if you want to check them out. Very cool people. But yeah, so all of these plates are about to be used, so let's see what that looks like right now. All right, guys, I've been working hours on this. So here it is. The wall sort of built. It's getting there. So I would say this is about a third of the way done, guys. I want to build this around 3 times the size it is right now. So there would be this layer right here, another one of them here, and one more here. And the way I've represented that are these right here. I have exactly the number of slopes right here, times 2 or times 3 right here, as well as right here, to give you a representation of what I'm thinking of how tall exactly this should be. And as you're seeing right now, it's gonna be kind of tall, just a tiny bit. Did you get that reference, the DJ reference there? Okay, anyhow, it's a little silly joke. But anyhow, in all seriousness, this wall is going to be massive. Like seriously, this is a lot bigger than what I was anticipating. I might take off like 2 bricks right here, just 2 or 3, maybe 4. I don't know, but I'll probably take a little bit, maybe 4, maybe 3 off, because it is a, even if I were to build it that high, first off, that's a lot of pieces. Second of all, it's just building this section right here. Let me just show you behind it. Was quite a tricky challenge. It wasn't as easy as a lot of you might think it is. There's quite a bit of reinforcement. Think of it as rebar and concrete, that it's essential that you reinforce a wall like this. Otherwise it's just going to break. And I tried to pick it up one point and it broke literally in half. And I was like, okay, that's not going to work. So I literally spent another hour and a half after I broke it rebuilding it and figuring out how I can make it more sturdy. So I started adding some reinforcement here, and there's just a bunch of layering of bricks with the slope pieces. It's not as simple as a lot of you might think it is. Another thing is this thing, it's only a third of the way done and it is massively heavy. A lot of you, I think, will underestimate how heavy this wall is. It's insane how heavy Lego can be, but triple this weight is going to be ridiculous. So with that in mind, my original idea of these things coming out to hold it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in one. It's just not going to work, period. That we're going to have to rethink everything. And I've already came up with a solution in terms of how this wall will actually stand up by itself. First off, I know this is going to make everybody mad, but it's not going to move in any type of way. It's just not, it's possible, it's completely possible to make it move. The tricky part is making it move. You know, it needs to go up probably, I don't know, get the ski speeder over here. It needs to go up at least to this height right here. So about right here, it needs to go up here. So to lift this entire thing, again, imagine this times 3, okay? I want you to put this in your head. Imagine this times 3. Imagine all of that weight just being held on 2 little corners of this entire wall. Obviously, the main weight is going to be right here. So the solution to this is what I'm going to call just using prongs and a lot of reinforcement. So what I'm going to do is when I build this wall bigger, I'm going to reinforce it ridiculously on the other side. Once I have that done and it's actually able to hold itself up on each side, once I have that done, I'm going to put, remember these things, right? Remember these things that would slide out? I'm actually, instead of these sliding out from this end, they're actually going to be directly attached to the wall themselves. And the way it's going to work is the wall will be, imagine plugging in an outlet, a cord to an outlet. Imagine that, but with the wall. It's going to be plugged in to the wall, and that's why it won't move. But the great thing is it'll be able to stand up by itself. And on top of that, the wall will actually be removable for transportation. So I think that's a good idea. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. That is my idea. Imagine an outlet, the prongs and an outlet. Imagine it on each side and you're basically plugging the wall in to the other mountain part. I think that is the best solution, and reinforcing this wall right here, I think that's a good idea. All right, so the next thing we're gonna work on is filling in all of this. I showed you guys these big plates. Currently they're drying, but in a second I'm gonna cover all of them with tile. I'm gonna fill this all in and make it look a lot nicer than it does right now. So that's the next thing we're gonna do. But I know this just, I'm sure I disappointed a lot of you. I know a lot of you wanted to be motorized. That just can't happen. It's probably possible. It's just not really feasible with what I'm trying to do. But, and I know a lot of you wanted it to move too, but first off, I don't really think it's that big of a deal that the wall has to move, because yes, we see it move just once in the Last Jedi when it has to close in order to protect everybody, but this is the Battle of Crait, okay? I'm making the battle, the door's open. So I think, well, actually, I think it does close about halfway through the battle. I think. I might have to go back and watch The Last Jedi. Regardless, I do want it open because I want the troopers coming out. I want the whole battle. Even that, if that isn't accurate, I think it should be open. So that's what I'm thinking. I know I probably disappointed a lot of you now that it's not even going to move. It will be able to come out, and it's not going to be permanent to the actual structure. That is another way of making this work, but I don't want to do that because then I can't like move anything in terms of the plates. So that's not possible. So I think my prong like outlet plug-in idea is the best idea. I know it disappoints a lot of you. Another thing is I could also make it so it, fits in. There's like maybe two prongs, one to how it's open and another that it's closed. But there's no point for it being closed because, well, first off, there's going to be like these feet down here. That would just make it really tricky, and there's a lot of complications. Just a lot of complications I know a lot of you won't fully understand, but I'm thinking about everything, and it just would only make sense if it just stays open. I know that sucks. I know a lot of you are disappointed, but that's just how this is going to have to be. It's just one thing. I don't think it's that big of a deal because I want to spend more time. I don't have to spend literally weeks on weeks just trying to figure out how to make this thing move. I want to work on detail for the mountains. There's plenty of battle space detail that needs to be made. The interior has to be made. There's plenty of other things to put my focus on. I just want to get the wall made, actually be able to stand up by itself and removable at the same time. I think that in itself is enough of a challenge. And adding any more to that will make it even more ridiculously tricky. So yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Alright guys, so I spent a lot of time, and I've even put the triangular salt plates, I guess you could call them, put those down, and it's looking really honestly great, guys. Put the tiles down, and that's literally all of the triangular pieces that I've made so far. What you're seeing right there, as you can see, it only covers maybe half of what I've covered with tiles, so definitely going to need to make more of those. We'll probably do that next time, just because this video is already running pretty long. But anyhow, it's looking great. Seriously, just look how awesome it's going to be, guys. I mean, imagine that wall going up that high, and with the triangular plates, and then having the wonderful detail of the mountain on each side. This is just going to turn out to be a wonderful mock, and this is just the first of 3 different sections, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. Couldn't be off to a better start here on the, about 2 months in, and we're this far, already getting a lot of the major stuff done. We're not still experimenting. We're not still prototyping. We're actually making stuff that's going to be in the final mock, and it's looking just fantastic. So I just want to quickly go and show you guys just something really funny. I didn't have too many small red pieces, so obviously showing the dirt underneath the salt. I actually came up with this good idea of using, we have all these gaps between the triangular pieces that will be reduced in the final thing, by the way. I just really fast put these down. But this actually gave me a good idea. I was just using red cheese slopes, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to use the gaps between the salt as a way of putting the footprints for the Lego minifigures. I think that would actually work out fantastically. Let me know what you guys think of that idea down in the comments below. And then also I want to address something everybody said down in the comments was, oh, he fell over, poor guy. Nobody likes the first order, I guess, especially in that Snook's dead. But anyhow, no, I'm just kidding. But anyhow, everybody said that I should use red tiles instead of white tiles. That was a big thing down in the comments below from last week and the week before. And the reason why I didn't go with red tiles is it would just show way too much. I understand it would be kind of cool, but it wouldn't be accurate towards what I'm trying to do. And especially with the footprints thing now, it makes even more sense of why it's white. I know a lot of you disagreed with that, but I think it's the better decision. You'll have to just, wait it out with me until the final mock in the coming months. And when you see the final mock, you'll be like, okay, David was right. I promise you, this is the better way to go. But seriously, look how great this is. The wall is actually being built. We have the final floor being built. Next week we're going to be doing the mountain stuff, and we're going to be working on the backside over here. I'm going to redesign these column pieces that are holding the wall in. They're not sturdy at all. They need to be completely redesigned and 10 times more stronger than they are right now. But we're definitely going to continue working and filling in. I'll fill in the rest of this over here. I know this is still empty. And we're going to also try to start working. The reason why I left all of this why there's such a big gap here is because I need those crevices for the teeth on the bottom of the wall. You have these like things that kind of stick out right here on, they're like every other thing, and I want to figure out how I want to do that in terms of positioning, and then I have to tile around that. So that's kind of a specialty thing. That's why I didn't put any tiles or big plates in right here, because that needs to be addressed first. And then we're also going to be working on this side, as well as, you know, getting all of this filled in and actually getting it prepped, and even start working on the mountain work around the wall, because I've run out of pieces for the wall. It'll be about a week or two, probably 2 weeks from this segment. So week 8? Week 10, we will continue working on the wall. But week 9, we'll be working on the mountain work and filling in all of what's around here, as well as continuing to make more triangular pieces in different variations. That's what we're going to be doing next week. So this is such a great start. It is looking so fantastic, guys. Like, seriously, look how awesome that looks. I'm absolutely loving this. I'm geeking out just a tiny bit of how it's already coming together. It's already looking like Crait. I do understand that this part right here looks a little strange, but again, that's going to be covered up when we attach the next section to it. So looks a little strange right there, I know. But that's obviously not going to be there in the final product. But that'll do, guys. We'll go ahead and end it out with the final part of the video. Let's go.
All right, guys, that was the segment. So a little long, but I wanted to go through all of this stuff. I wanted to get all my points out. But seriously, I think the wall looks fantastic. I love how the slopes look. I know a lot of you down in the comments said using plates or some other method would be the better way to go. I disagree. I think using bricks and slopes is the better way of going about it. But man, this thing's gonna be tall. It's gonna be tall, and it's gonna be hard to reinforce, and it's gonna be an interesting experiment as the weeks go on, as we finish building the wall and start building the mountains around it. It's gonna be quite interesting to see how it works. But yeah, no, in terms of I know I probably disappointed a lot of you not making it even movable now. Instead, it just kind of stays in one position. I know that's disappointing to a lot of you, but that's just gonna have to how it's gonna be. It's just gonna be so heavy. It's just not really possible. I mean, I'm sure it's possible to make motors, and I'm sure it's possible to make it movable. But the problem is if I spend too much time figuring out that, a lot of you tend to get bored or frustrated that I'm spending too much time on one thing, and you like to see a lot of progress. But like, if I were to spend a month or even 2 months on trying to figure out how to make the wall movable and motorized, I don't think a lot of you would be too super thrilled, because it wouldn't be much of a change from week to week. Either that, or I'd take some weeks off and just, you know, have a gap in the segments. And I really don't want to do that. A lot of you have been really excited each week for Crait, and I want to continue that anticipation and excitement that a lot of you get when you see these episodes pop up on YouTube. I also want to say that we are almost at 1 million views for the last 8 weeks. Like, if you total all the views, I think it might even already be at 1 million. That's insane. The average episode count, or the view count for each episode, has been about over 100,000 views, which is insane. That is so great for a new series on my channel, getting 100,000 views. Just in comparison, Kashyyyk averaged about, I think it was like 50,000 views, and Scarif averaged about 60 to 70,000 views. So now that the Crait series is averaging at 100,000 plus views, that is just so amazing. I'm like, I just want to say thank you to everybody, because it is just awesome that usually you'd see a dip, and I'm not seeing the dip. There is still a continued week to week 100,000 views plus. That is fantastic. The likes are there, the comments, all of you are engaging. I'm getting so many emails. Like, I just couldn't be more happy with how successful Crait has already been. And now that we're really getting the mock looking like Crait, It only goes uphill from here. I'm just so happy with how this series is turning out. It's honestly fantastic. I don't have words. It's really quite fantastic. So again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. More videos of Crait, of course, and other videos I hope to plan will be coming out in the coming weeks. But yeah, no, that's going to be it for Crait, guys. I kind of explained a little bit ago before we went into the final part of the video what we're going to be doing next week, so I won't rehash what I said there. But that's going to be it, guys. I hope you have a great and wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.